Okay, I think I am set. It's been far too long since I've started this. Let's get things moved over to here. Hopefully that's not too loud. I can actually turn that down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. How's it going, Hannibal? It is, like I said, it's been a minute since I have been here. I hope you all didn't miss me too much. Because I did not miss you. No, that is not true. I missed being here. Hello, Rage. Welcome to the stream. I will admit, I don't know what I want to do this stream. It is going to be a painting stream, but I'm just not sure what I want to paint. I could... oh shit, stop opening things. Yes, you know what? I can do that. I can talk about my trip first, and then we can get into things. Canada was fun. So for those that don't know, and just to quickly summarize, I went on a 5-day road trip with two of my friends up to Canada. We traveled from the great state of Maine all the way up to Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. And our first night we were in New Brunswick. Just to summarize the ones that I remember or the towns I remember staying in. St. John's was our first one. Yeah, Snow China. I've never heard it called that before. My first time ever going to Canada, and it was nice. I was afraid it would snow while I was up there, because I do not like the snow. But St. John's is the first city that I stayed at. Really nice little city. Similar to a couple other New England ones. If I had to describe a lot of the cities that I went to, it's a mixture between like New England cities and European. I mean, it makes sense. Like the English settled there and all that stuff and all that. Price wise, I didn't think it was too bad. The American dollar is stronger than the Canadian. So I actually thought things were a lot cheaper for me. Especially buying Warhammer things was a lot cheaper. And I definitely spent some money on Warhammer. For those that are in the Discord, I sent a picture of one of the stores I went to in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Halifax is a cool city. If you get the chance to go there, do it. They got a fort in the middle of the city that looks out over the... It looks out over the city and over the bay, and it was nice, like, to walk around this like 18th century like dirt dug fort. And I mean dirt dug as like it's a star-shaped fort, and they dug into the like dirt of it, but it's on a hill, and there is like an old building from that time as well, and they have some of the cannons. The cannons don't work, but the cannons are still up there and like looking out over. And it was so cool. It was so cool to be there. Cold. Very cold. I did all the driving while I was in Canada, because one friend of mine had a DUI and could not drive. Or he could, but I did not want him to if we got pulled over. And the second one, I just didn't really want to switch, to be honest. It's my vehicle. If I'm getting pulled over in it, I want to be the one in the driver's seat and be the one to take the blame for it. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Definitely would do something like that again. Did I not put it in Discord, one of the stores I went to? Yes, if you go into the Discord, Warhammer and other models, I posted one store, the store in Halifax I went to, and the selection of Warhammer they had, And then I posted after what I bought from that store specifically. I bought a few things in general, though. Can't find it. Let's see. Aatrox posted his Warlord Titan that he plans on buying. And then after that, I posted my 2 videos. And then my stuff. Can I throw them up in chat? It doesn't matter too much. But it was a good trip nonetheless to say and all that. What else did we do? Yeah, just from day one we went to St. John's. And very last minute I was like, yo, can I go to like a Warhammer store? And my friends were like, yeah, sure, we'll go. And we went before it closed at 7 o'clock. And I bought from there Terminator Squad and like a special model from like Age of Sigmar. What's up, AR? Welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about my trip to Canada and all that stuff. And all the interesting things I did up there. What's up, Butterscotch? Other than the towns, let's see. So we went to St. John, and then we drove from there to Prince Edward Island. Can I get some cheap medication? No, I didn't buy any medication from there. But from St. John, we went to Prince Edward Island, which was interesting to get there. For those that don't know, Prince Edward Island obviously is an island, and there's only 2 ways of getting to that place. You can either take a ferry and go across highway, so by boat, or you can literally drive on a bridge that goes over the ocean. And it was the coolest thing I have ever done. I guess it depends on what you get. I haven't really ever had to take medication before for anything. But, oh. Actually, talking about that. So, I used to pay $80 a month for just my health care. It's now going up to $150 a month. Yeah, that's what I heard, but I don't have to take insulin, so yeah. So it was really cool to drive over, like, the entire ocean and just see, like, the coastline and everything else around it. So I was excited. I was nervous, like, the next day just because we were going through a rainstorm. Usually the after day, when the weather's clear, it gets really windy. So I was really like, oh, like, driving over that way. We didn't stay in the capital, Prince Edward Island. We stayed in, I want to call it like Somerville or something like that. Just like, it was a small like fishing city. Really more of like a summer town. Wasn't really anything to do there. Got some magic cards while I was there. For those that don't know, I'm building a Tiamat deck for Magic the Gathering and all that. And I bought some cards from a local store there, and I am building that deck slowly. In the rate that I currently buy cards for, it will be 2030 when I have the deck done. So that is that. And then from there, we drove from Prince Edward Island to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and explored the city there. We also stopped at a bunch of places like while we were going along. Like when we went to St. John's to Prince Edward Island, I believe. We stopped at Fundy National Park, which for those that don't know, it was a very fun road trip. It was so much fun. I do have a story that I will tell you guys. It's about the last night we were in Canada, but I will get there. So, Fundy was really nice. If you ever seen, like, commercials for Maine's coastline or, like, East Coast, like, picturesque little coastline, like pinewood forest, straight cliffs, little seaside town. That's exactly what like Fundy National Park had in it, and it was awesome. I really wish its sister park was open. I think it's called like Joggin National Park. It has fossil cliffs, and for those that don't know, I'm a very big dinosaur kid still at heart, and I wanted to go see like these fossil cliffs, but because the park was closed for the season, we didn't think we'd be able to go and like walk in and see it. So we checked out Fundy. Fundy was cool. Tried to get a couple rocks. I tried to break a couple rocks to see if I could find any fossils. Didn't find any. Also found out that you're not supposed to do that. But we just Googled that part to find out. So yeah, once we got to Halifax, that's where the fort was, and yeah, we just explored it. It's where I went to. What's the name? I have a bag here. Let me grab it. Yeah. So if you're from Canada and near Nova Scotia, or you go to Nova Scotia, Canada, and you go to Halifax, which is like the main city there, go to a game store called The Deck Box. It is not an official Warhammer store, but they had such a large selection of Warhammer models and stuff. Like, I'm gonna show the Canadian prices for like what I bought. So, I bought this model, which I know you can buy in stores, but I've been looking for this guy for a little bit. When I run Dark Angels, or I want to run this guy in my actual Dark Angels, I have his book. Really enjoyed the book, but I paid like 55 Canadian, and to buy it, I believe online, I don't know. It's way cheaper Canadian than it is American, is what I'm going to boil it down to. They also had things there that are online only. So I bought a Basculus for my guard army, and I bought something for my lizard, my Seraphon army when I build that. And all those that I bought were online only models, and I'm like, these are so much cheaper to buy here. I think normally from stores like that, it's a 15% discount. I've seen in some stores, and then even like with the Canadian dollar being not as strong against the American, I feel like I got those for a really good deal. Long drive, good deal. But really enjoyed the store. And had a good time out in the city as well. Even though it might not look like it to my friends, I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. Then we stayed in Moncton. Oh, also completely off topic, but I bought a kill team since I figured it'd be a bit more economical. But they're just so hard to paint. Depends on what you buy for kill team, but yes, models in general can be hard to paint. Yeah, sorry. I know I'm ignoring chat for a second. I'm very fortunate that I do live in an area that is known as Vacation Land. Like, that is literally the slogan of the state I live in. Ooh, I wish you luck. It looks... Those are a set of cool models that I don't want to get, but I think a friend of mine does kind of want, or I talked about. Like, maybe him getting them. Not fully sure. But we then, from Halifax, we drove to a city called Moncton. I wanted to get closer, at least, to our state because of the weather turning bad. Like, we're supposed to get snow that weekend, stuff like that. And my only big gripe with Canada is that they don't plow their highways when it does snow. Like, they need a certain amount of inches to be able to plow. So we had, like, about maybe that much snow on, like, the highway. I did not have snow tires, And I don't think anyone else did on the road. I watched a van go off the highway while in Canada. I was like, okay, we are going to drive a lot more safe and careful today. So that was a little bit sketchy, and I was like, I'm white knuckling the whole ride. And once we crossed over to the American side, the road was all like plowed and clear, and I'm like, okay, I appreciate America's like needness to have like good roads. So positive there. But anyway, night in Moncton. One friend really wanted to go out and like party and all that stuff. I'm not a drinker, partier guy, and the other guy with us was sick, or he would have partied. So a bit later, I decided I'm gonna go back to the apartment we're staying at. So white knuckling is when you have your fist so clenched hard against the steering wheel that your knuckles actually turn white. It's more of a thing like people do it out of anger or like nervousness. When I'm put into situations that I'm not comfortable with or I've not done before, I get very nervous and very much of a simple, I become a what-ifer. I overthink the situation and turn it into a worse situation in my head than what it actually is. So, to reiterate, white knuckling is like if you clench your fist so hard that your knuckles start to turn white. So, yeah, would you guys like to hear the story of how I came out of the closet? I guess more correctly, how I got in the closet. I've been waiting to use that line so long for delivery. I've been chuckling to myself about it. No, that's no joke. Yeah, I asked, do you guys want to hear how I got into the closet? So last night in Moncton, our apartment, or our place we were staying at, was a shared apartment. So there was 2 rooms. Someone else had a room. We had a room. The room was only a 1-bedroom, like only 1 bed to the room. It was cheap. It was like $30 for us to rent it out for the night and all that. So it was a like 12 by 8 or 6 size room. There was enough for the bed in the center, and then there was a random chair in the corner. So there was enough room to like blow out an air mattress at the foot of the bed, and enough room for someone to sleep on the side of the bed. I tried to blow up the air mattress, and the pump I had made so much noise, and I had my door cracked as well, that the guy in the other room poked his head out of the door trying to see what was going on and could see me through the door, like trying to pump this thing. So I'm like, okay, can't use the air mattress and all that because it's too much noise. Don't want to make that guy annoyed. So I look in the room and there's this like other door. I'm like, okay, is it connected to the other room or does it lead somewhere else? I open it and it goes into a very like large walk-in closet. Enough space for someone to like, you know, lay down and sleep in it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to set my sleeping bag and myself up in the closet. I'll sleep in here. And the reason why I chose that is because if I slept on the side of the bed here and the other person there, whoever had to get up and use the bathroom in the middle of the night, like from the bed, would step on someone. So I decided to put myself in the closet. One friend knew this. My friends came back, is what I'll say. And, you know, they had a little bit of drink, all that stuff, so they were like they had a couple giggles in them, is what I'll say. I gotta blow my nose again. So, I hear them come in. One of them says like, hey, where's Swamp? And the other one says like, oh, he's in the closet. The other one's like, what? He's in the closet? So He opens the closet door and sees me in my sleeping bag, laying down, trying to sleep. Like, just in the middle of this closet. And he's like, he just starts losing his mind laughing. He's like, holy shit, Swamp's in the closet trying to sleep. Why are you in the closet? And I kept telling him, like, it makes the most sense. It's the most practical spot to be. And he's literally, like, dying laughing. He actually takes a picture and, like, sends it to our group chat. And I'm like, so I'm laying down like this, and he's standing here, like, just taking a photo. And I, like, sit up like this to look like, just sit up a little bit, just to look at him. And he loses his mind as well from that. He then shuts the door, and I hear him, like, I hear my other friend, like, say, yo, keep quiet, like, shut up. And I don't know, like, what's going on outside. So then all of a sudden, after I hear that, his loud laughing gets muffled, and I hear him, like, muffled. And from what it sounds like, my friend is actually taking a pillow and trying to shove it in my other friend's mouth to get him to shut up and stop laughing. Because he's laughing so hard and so loud. No, what he actually did is he, like, shoved his face into a pillow to stop, like, himself from laughing so loud. Because he thought it was so hilarious. It is funny. I will admit, it's a funny thing. So yeah, that's how I went in the closet. And by all accounts, I am not gay. You cannot prove that, Jake. So, yeah, sorry to make such a long story there, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a good time, and that's how I ended my trip. There was a few other, like, funny giggle moments, but that's all I have to say. It's already clipped. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention and all I heard was in the closet. AR, I am not repeating that story. I will be making this a YouTube short. And I will be posting it there. So you can watch it again from there. I am not in the closet. I am not. But yeah, that is my Canada trip. I did have to come out of the closet in the morning, but yeah, after that, I drove a straight 6 hours back home. Fuck it, yeah, I'll put the photo in there. I'll blur out my friend's face, but I'll put the photo in the short. We need to see that photo. I could do something. Yeah. I have other weird stories as well that I need to share. I forgot about one recently. I forgot about one and then was reminded of it recently. No, they don't. They don't involve any closets. Um, Now, the other story I want to tell tonight, I'll wait until I get, like, painting and stuff like that, involves another dumb decision that I did. But, with people here, I'm going to let this be a choice on some stuff. If I found Narnia in a closet, I would not tell you guys. So I have a choice. Do I work on the Crusade army some more, get the Terminators painted up and stuff? Or do we paint up some other random models that I have? Or do I build some new models? I'm going to let that be chat's choice real quick. You have literally 20 seconds to decide. Go. Okay, so people are asking for the 1,000 points within 20 days. That's what I'm assuming with Crusade. Because I could paint these guys up, and these are also for the Crusade, but I'm assuming people mean, like, paint these guys up. Which I can do. Okay. Clear things up and go from there. AR, I don't need to buy any more for the pile. I bought plenty while in Canada. I was just saying that it was cheap for me to buy Warhammer in Canada. So I did. What else have I got? I got a few other things, but I think we can get base color down on the good old Terminators and stuff. I can't remember what I have in the list to go against my friend too. For those that are new here and just curious, oh wait, just got my eardrums destroyed opening up my Cyberpunk tab. So, for those that don't know what I've been working on, at least off and on here and there, at some point, I'll be starting a personal crusade with a friend of mine. I'm painting up a custom Space Marine Legion, one of my own design and stuff like that. And I'll be putting... I'm pretty much trying to do 1,000 points within 20 days. Not 20 days straight. It's a little rough, depending on when I decide to work on it or not. Let me grab some paints. Okay. Where is my speed paint I want to use? Did I throw it in here or did I throw it in another thing? I think it's in another thing. Fuck. There it is. So, yeah, I'm trying to paint 1,000 points within 20 days. How long do how fast are you supposed to paint? I think it's all up to you on how you want to paint. Like, if you want something done really fast, which is kind of what I'm doing this, like, challenge for, it's all up to you. You put as much time and effort as you want. Sometimes I will paint models in stages and have them done within like a week for just one model, and that's the only model I work on, or I can do a whole squad and that whole week I just get like a couple base things done. All depends on what I want to do. But yeah, I am building this 1,000-point army to go against my friend who does Black Legion, and I'm terrified to fight him because I gave him Abaddon, the spoiler for his army. It's an like early birthday / like Christmas gift I got for him, and I regret giving it to him now. I don't regret buying it and giving it to him. I regret giving it to him now only for the fact that I have to play against it. And I got to figure out how to combat it. So I added like 3 models to this army. To try and defeat like Abaddon directly. I think I added the snipers to precise him out directly. I added a Gladius tank to like be the buff against him as well, and I added a Redemptor Dreadnought as well to the army list. But on top of that, Sorry, it's been so long. I'm trying to remember like what the original plan and idea was for all this. Yeah, if we reached like 500 subscribers, I think, by the time I finished this challenge, I was going to add a knight model to this army. I have one that I already want to add in and build. But it all just depends. That's kind of also why, like, if I do other things, it gave me, like, it gave pretty much us time to build to that point and then, you know, get it done. But yeah. AR said, I usually paint in a group, and one dude managed to paint like thousands of points and Tyranids in the time it took me just to paint the armor. Surprisingly, another gift. It's a trader unit. No, I am done buying him more gifts for a while. Because here's the thing. Every, like, model that he gets, I'm the one painting it for him, too. He actually... I think he does kind of have a model he wants to add to his army. He wants to add a Helldrake to his army at some point. I think. And for those that don't know, it's just a big metallic dragon is what a Helldrake is. Which I would find it really cool to fight against, and I do kind of want to fight against that. Make my, like, put a knight in the army list and make the knight fight against it. I think that'd be pretty cool. But he doesn't like painting is the thing. Like, he told me to, like, he doesn't like to paint models. He enjoys building them, and he enjoys playing them. The part he enjoys the most in, like, playing is rolling the dice and just killing models. He doesn't care about anything else. Which I don't blame him. We all have something that we enjoy. I wonder if I should try to figure out, like, what parts on this Terminator that I leave a different color. So for those that also don't know, my Space Marine Legion is split up into two color schemes. My veterans, so like Terminator, all veteran models are black armor with like bits of blue on them. And my regular Marines in my army are blue armor with orange little bits here and there, and green eyes for the helmet. And I also give them a blue backpack, or not blue, a black backpack. So that is the two schemes I'm going on. It is a different contrast, but I also, you know, in my mind, for when my Marines go out and do a crusade or do a mission, they use multiple Marines from different companies. Because each, like, company does a different thing. So there's, like, a tank company, scout company, like, all that regular stuff. So it's like, why just have one company do everything and why not just, like, have mixed companies? It's a black backpack. The monochrome army fin. Do. Surprised this is still sticky here. It's literally been months and this is still, like, sticky. Yeah, no, it's been a minute since I've streamed. I feel a little out of it, I will be honest. But I hope everyone that, you know, is here is enjoying themselves. Or not enjoyed. God, what am I trying to say? I hope everyone's having a good week. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope you got to do some fun stuff. Hope you got to spend time with family or friends. And just do, you know, whatever you liked. I'll say I have no other trips planned for a while. So y'all are stuck with me for a little bit longer. Oh, good for you, Hannibal. What kind of teacher? Like actual teaching or like a woodshop teacher or chemistry? That's surprising, but also exciting. Are you going to be that cool chemistry teacher that's like, okay, class, I'm going to show you how we do this explosive you'll listen to the offer. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a career change personally as well. Just for personal reasons, though. There's kind of a lot going on behind the scenes here that I'm like, I should think about doing something different. It's a part-time position. Eh, part-time's not bad. What would I want to do? Personally, if I could make money, I'd sit here all day entertaining and painting models all day. But I think that's the dream. And not just paint models. I do want to do some like actual film prop stuff really soon here on the channel. I want to actually do a proper craft day. I think what's holding me back on that is just my spacing. Like in my actual office, my spacing. But I think I'll be looking at... I applied to a friend's game store I'm not thinking I'm going to get the job, just he's not really, or at least I heard he's not thinking about hiring any more friends. And you know what? I get it. Plus, it's a really long drive, but I might try looking at a couple other ones that might be hiring, or I might try working in a bookstore for a little bit, or I might even look for something like that is more creative and like art, like artsy, I guess. I'm just kind of done doing a physical labor job, and it's tough because I work for my parents currently, like in their company, and a lot of personal stuff has just kind of come up with that is becoming difficult, is what I'll say. So the vacation was very nice and very much needed and a good change. I almost wish I didn't have to come back to all this, but I can't leave you guys hanging. I started this and you guys are stuck with me, so I'm trying to think if I should make both of these be blue or just one of them. I might actually, we'll just do one. We'll have this base be black, and then we'll do a little raised bit blue. I got asked while on the trip from friends, like, what were my life goals and stuff like that, and I really don't have anything set out, which is okay. I mean, you're not supposed to have everything figured out and know what you want to get done and what you want to do, but I definitely want to complete a couple things. As much as I wanted to, okay, I'm kind of thinking about like the actual craft stuff I want to do, and as much as I initially wanted to make an Inquisitor's Rosette out of metal and stuff like that, I might actually make it out of foam and start working on the Inquisitor's cosplay again. So I think I'll buy a couple like foam mats, like you used to work out with, and start making some props or cosplay pieces, and I'll do a couple streams with that, because I do know that's initially why you like stuck around Hannibal, was to see that get worked on and all that stuff, but I just haven't given myself the time to do that, so I think I need to find like an easier way of starting and doing it. Because the initial plan was like to like actually blacksmith myself a sword and make an actual metal Inquisitor Rosette and stuff like that, but I think it'll just be easier if I made it out of foam and painted it up and all that stuff. Sometimes you just gotta go with what's easier. Eventually down the road I will, or I do want to make an actual metal one. But I think figure it would be, I'd be happy to work on it again. I want to get it done. I have the base layer stuff and everything. I just need to actually like start working on it and doing it. I also thought about a couple things that like I want to sell as well. Thought about making like a few terrain pieces and putting those on like an Etsy store and selling those. Like terrain for like Warhammer and stuff like that. Or D&D. else? I do have another story I want to tell. I just wanted to wait a little bit longer before I tell it, but... And this story happened like a few years ago. It's not anything recently. Back in like 2022, 2023. I'm trying to figure out how to start this story. I am going to start it by saying, be responsible and be smart about your decisions. And if you think things are a certain way, or things smell like a certain thing, they probably are that thing. Let me get this finished up, and then I will go into the story. I need some water. Okay. So, back in like 2022 or 2023, when I first moved into an apartment with my sister. Currently at the time, it was myself, my sister, and 2 other female roommates that we were living with in a 3-bedroom apartment. And I have a rule when it comes to food in the fridge. It's changed now, but at the time I had a rule. That if to-go food or leftover food has been left in the fridge for more than a week, it's fair game. So like once it reaches that like week mark, it's complete free game. Because usually after that point, it will start to go bad. So I have a really bad sweet tooth. Like to the point that I know it affects my health and all that. But there were these 2 little desserts in the fridge that my sister had, just sitting in there, and I have been wanting those for a while, but I'm like, I can't touch them. I gotta wait until like I know she's not gonna eat them. I just have to sit there and wait that week. So I go and the week passes. I go to the fridge. I give them the little sniff test. They're sitting in these restaurant to-go containers. And also like styrofoam like containers. I give one a sniff and I'm like, huh. Smells a little like funky. Kind of smells like weed. But, you know, why would weed be in like a dessert from a restaurant container? Okay, whatever. And I eat both desserts. And then I go and sit down and I just like scroll on my phone, and you know, like maybe a couple hours later, like an hour or so pass by, the dog just starts whining at me, whining at the base of the bed, and I'm like, Rory, what's up? Like, what's going on? And then that's when I realized, like, oh, I feel a little funny. I feel a little like weird, like, ooh, things don't seem to be right. Like my body feels heavy and all that stuff. And then my mouth starts to get like really dry, and all that. And I'm like, okay. Well, I take some water, all that. And, you know, like, I'm very slowly starting to freak out. At some point, I, like, walk down to the basement where one of the other roommates are. And I'm like, yo, I feel really strange and weird. Like, something's going on. And so, like, she... Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on these guys for a... They're part of my custom Space Marine faction. Or, no, my custom Space Marine chapter. I'm painting up, like, 1,000 points within 20 days for playing against a friend of mine. So yeah, and I think we're on day like 9 currently. Been taking like days on and off here and there. But you just caught me in the middle of a story. So yeah, like I'm sitting on the couch and she's like, you know, checking on me, making sure I'm okay, all that stuff. And again, my mouth just gets super dry. Like I'm drinking... Nice. Did you get yourself some like new assault Terminators, or are you just working on like the regular Terminators? Oh, nice. Imperial Fist got a really nice color scheme as well. Now, where was I in the story? I do want to finish this story. So, yeah. So, for context, I drank... I would say water amount wise, like this much water. This is a whole gallon. I drank that whole gallon in like the span of 15 minutes because my mouth just felt that dry and I could not get it to, you know, not be dry. So, I do start to have a panic attack because also at the same time, my grandfather's health was going down the drain. He actually did pass away like later that year, and he passed away from like cancer and all that. So I was kind of freaking out, thinking like, oh, damn, is something happening to him? Like is some sort of weird spiritual thing happening to me right now? Like what's going on? And my other roommate's like concerned as well. As like, what'd you do? Like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing weird or different happened. Like, I don't know. And I'm just like talking through. I'm having a full blown panic attack at this point. Like, she calls my sister to like let her know like, hey, what's going on and all that stuff. And I get to the point that I'm like scared to go to bed because I don't think I'll wake up the next morning. I get that paranoid. But eventually, I do go to sleep. I feel a little weird the next morning, but I drive myself to work. I'm like, okay, I don't feel as weird as I did yesterday, but I still feel pretty off. So, I drive to work, which is like a 15-minute drive from where I was staying at the time. And from there, my brain starts to wake up a little bit, and a thought crossed my mind. I'm like, I wonder if how I feel has anything to do with the weird desserts I ate last night. So I give my sister a call in the morning, and she's not a morning person, so she wakes up a little groggy, and she's like, what? I'm like, hey, you know what was, like, so last night I might have eaten those, or like, I just started like stuttering and stuff like that, but it comes out eventually that I ate those desserts. And she's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And she's like, Swamp, no, those had 250 milligrams of weed in each of them. And I'm like, what? She's like, you just took 500 milligrams in one go. Like, no wonder why you had a panic attack. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, damn. She's like, you're probably still high right now. The answer is yes, I was. So, I then had to tell my boss that, like, oh, I need to call out because I'm still extremely high. And I cannot actually like go to work and all that. Do keep in mind, I do not smoke and I do not drink. Like before, I maybe like tried a little bit here and there, but it wasn't often. Nothing ever to that extent. So safe to say, I am extremely lucky that I did not have any other health issues and just a panic attack. But I was high for the next 3 days straight off of that. I got better and better each day, but I went to my parents' place and laid down on the couch, and then later that afternoon my mother showed up and was like, hey, get up. You're going to help me unload a whole trailer full of hay into our barn. Which those for that want to know, the full trailer had like over 100 something bales on it. And so I'm sitting in the loft of the barn stacking these bales, just sweating it off. I'm pretty sure I smelled like weed really bad. But after my head like being all fuzzy all day, I'm like, holy crap, I can think again. I can actually think. So I was able to actually sweat out some of the weed and not be all groggy the next day. So yeah. Every once in a while, I have some weird stories like that. I just don't remember them, and then I get reminded of them. Put this on replay. So yeah, I don't recommend doing that ever in your life. And if there's food in the fridge that's not yours, do not touch it, or you will suffer consequences for your actions. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for me sharing. I don't mind sharing my embarrassing stories. A lot of times I'd hate, like, you know, people telling embarrassing stories about me here and there. But I've had to learn just to be able to laugh at my own, like, my own antics. Because if I don't, then, like, what? I'm not gonna be a fun person to hang out or be around with. Plus, it got some interesting stories that I can share with people. So now, like, all 2 of you that are here now know of my misgivings when it comes to food and taking it from the fridge. I will say after that day, I am never able to have weed again. I think every time I do, I get an instant panic attack. Because that was the first panic attack. I've had a second one from weed as well. So I just stay away from this stuff, period. But I will save the second story for another day. Because I can't give you guys everything in one stream. There'd be nothing for you guys to come back to. Yeah, I've been wanting to share those 2 stories with you folks since like Monday. So I am happy that I can actually sit here and share them now. I did ask this in my Discord, and I'm going to ask this to you fine folk here. So, for any of you in here that are story writers or like to make homebrew lore and stuff like that, how how do you have your homemade characters interact with characters from like an established lore? And I asked this because recently in my Crusade game that I'm playing at my local, my local hobby store, I went up against a World Eaters player, and they had Karn the Betrayer as their warlord. And during the battle, I was able to precision out Karn with my captain, because in the Crusade I have a couple upgrades I was able to give my captain to make it so that he has precision on critical hits, and also he has like sustain hits as well. So I was able to kill Karn twice, because Karn has an ability where it's like, oh, where he dies, you can roll a dice, and then he comes back with like half as many wounds and like a little bit farther away. So I was able to, like, in the end of the conversation, because I didn't finish the game, the guy was like, oh, I would say that you killed like Karn the second time. Like, Karn is just gone. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I plan on writing like short stories for every single battle that my Marines have been in. But I don't really want to like go into the pit trap of like my special captain wiped out Karn the Betrayer in a battle. Like, I don't want to do that. Even though that's what he did in battle, I want it to be like, you know, kind of fair. Like, I'll be like, oh, like, first company captain so-and-so disappeared while fighting Karn the Betrayer, and like, we don't know what happened, but the first company captain, which I think I'm gonna do lore-wise, first company captain's, like, Draco Rex had his throat cut open, so he's not able to tell us what happened, but he still leads the first company and like vows to take revenge against the World Eaters for some reason. Or, like, that's my first thought of doing. My second thought is having, never saying it's Karn directly, just saying that my first company captain fought a very tough fight against a blue hair World Eater. Some crazed blue hair Khorne berserker. And that he was able to defeat said... Hello, Rory. What you doing?
Hey, I'm leaving.
Okay. No worries. Best of luck at work. And that he was able to kill the berserker, but not without taking like some damage himself. Because I will say, during that battle, I lost. We only played until turn 2, just because I took... We both kind of took long, but I blame myself when it comes for taking long in games. Excuse me. So, like, he won. We were playing, like, the Tyrannic War, like, Survive the Swarm mission or something like that, for those that know. And, yeah. Like, I killed 2 characters during that game, which was, like, really fun. Really cool I was able to do that, and I did it twice with precision. But, it was tough, because turn 1, he was able to take 3 objectives, and like the mission is like, if the attacker takes an objective, they can have a unit spend an action to just burn the objective, and if they burn 4, they like win the game. So he was able to do 3 in turn 1. So, man, I had to hold the entire rest of the game, like, 1 away from him. And there's no way that I could have stopped him from burning it. Like, I even asked, and he thought it was unfair as well. As like, it seems unfair, like, that you're not able to stop me from, like, doing this. I'm like, yeah, it does seem kind of unfair. Like, if I ever play this mission, like, with my friends and stuff like that, I'm going to switch it so that, like, I can stop it from happening. And then I went to, like, the game master, and he's like, let me read the rules and, like, see if there's any way. And it's like, no, the rules is written. It's like, you can't stop it. And I'm like, okay, I just wanted to, like, check, because that puts me in a really tough position. But it was a fun game. The guy definitely wants to play more games in the future. He's like, if you want to schedule another one sometime soon, let me know. So, like, sometime early December, we might just do a fun non-Crusade game. Or maybe if it is during the Crusade, we can make it another Crusade game. And I might actually be able to, like, win against them. I don't think so, but I will keep trying. I am currently, out of my 5 games, I'm 5-0. So I don't deserve, but I'm going to get a win at some point. So statistically, that just has to happen. Oh, yeah, the initial question. Like, should I say I killed this lore character within a homebrew story, or should I spin it and say, like, they disappeared and fought, or say it's a different character that, like, I killed? Like a non-important character. Like, no, I guess the word of vagueness. Just be vague of, like, oh, I fought this, but we don't know what happened. Yeah, that's kind of the consensus in general that I've seen, like, online, and people say. I was just like, how should I go about doing this? I think when I write about it, I'm just gonna say it was some random, like, berserker that was really tough, but not, like, any important character. I think I have a name for the story already. I want to call it. I want to call it, like, one sec. I want to call the story the Unkept Promise, or the Promise That Can't Be Kept. Because the game master gives, like, each mission that you're paired with, he's giving them, like, a narrative name and, like, what's going on. And for that mission, my Marines had to stop the World Eaters from coming into the Hive City's, like, population zone and attacking the civilians. So I was thinking of, like, having them interact with a couple civilians, like, in the first part of the story, and then going into the battle, and then just being like, we were not able to keep our promise. This is a mark of shame. I'm probably going to call, like, all these stories that I write, or I'm going to refer to this time in my chapter's history as, like, the battles of shame, or, like, the marks of shame. It was like this unknown new Space Marine chapter came in and tried their best to, like, help protect the Imperium, but they just weren't able to do it. So it's now a mark of shame forever on their name and chapter. Because currently in the Crusade, the people winning the Crusade are the Alien Alliance. So like the Tyranids, the Eldar, the Tau, they're all a part of like one alliance, and they're winning currently, and the Imperium is at the bottom of the list. I think it's like 32, 30. No, not 30. 42, 30. The only Imperial ally that's actually doing any good, like good against the other factions, is the Guardsman Deathcore Krieg army. And I'm like, that's honestly really fitting and really cool that like the Deathcore Krieg are able to hold their own and do better than the Space Marines are able. I like that lore-wise a lot. Because also, like, in lore, Space Marines are meant to be, like, the Emperor's sword that cut through and, like, take and defend planets. But the Guard are, like, the shield. The Guard are the actual ones, like, for every, like, one battle a Space Marine wins, like, on a planet, 10 planets were defended by the Guard. So it's like, the Space Marines, they're rare and not very common. So yeah, you really have to be defending, really is up to the regular everyday man to defend against everything that goes on in the Warhammer universe. Okay. I know I'll be writing down like my games against my friend that I will be doing like with this army, and I'm gonna like never say that I'm dealing with Abaddon like directly. I'll just say it's some like non-important like Chaos Lord. I mean, like between us, I'm fighting Abaddon as like in the armies, but like unless I'm actually using like other named like Marines, or I'm using like the Lion in this army, I don't think I should write stories on that, and I'll leave that to GW. GW is the one that will decide what named characters do and where they go. Because at the end of the day, it's their bottom line is like it's their money. It's been so long since I've painted. I'm a little bit rusty. Good night, Hannibal. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get some rest, and I'll see you next time whenever I see you. I'm probably going to be doing another stream tomorrow. So I will. You can catch me here, same time started Friday night. And we'll see about this weekend. Because I do want to stream this weekend, but I also have other events I want to go check out this weekend. Like, one of the events I'm going to go check out is, it's called Standoff. It's a Warhammer tournament held in Portland, Maine. And I guess there's a bunch of people going on that. I'm not participating, but I'm going to go check it out and see, like, what the tournament scene's like there and all that stuff. And, you know, just have a good time. And then also there's, like, a Portland Con has like a flea market or something like that. It's an anime convention again in Portland, Maine. They're not running an anime convention, but there's this like cosplay yard sale, garage sale thing going on, like in Portland. So there's a bunch of like cosplay stuff and all that for sale. So I'm gonna go check that out and see if there's anything that I would find interesting that I can snag and use for future stuff. And then Sunday I'm going to help out running a Warhammer event in Portland and go from there. It'll just be at my friend's game store. It's been something planned for like a month or so. I think it'll be a small thing, not a lot of people, because this weekend will be busy. A lot of Warhammer players are going to other events, but maybe we'll have people show up. Could add more paint back to the cap. What else I got kind of planned and all that stuff? Nothing too crazy. Just trying to get back in the swing of things. My parents are off on vacation until I don't know when. And so it's really just me in charge of pretty much all like the jobs and stuff that we're doing. Which that makes it difficult on like I want to do something different. And I'm like the oldest employee, like longest working employee there. I think pretty soon the two other employees that I work with are going to be leaving to do other stuff, and then it's just going to be me and my parents, and I'm like, this is not good, so I'm kind of looking to do other things because as well. And like, I don't enjoy what I do, like I said, but this is a good song. Okay, okay. I'm actually like paying attention, listening to these songs now. I think I got so distracted and just talking earlier, I wasn't really listening to anything. So what other sort of projects are all y'all working on? You got any other fun stuff you're doing? I'd say like, I know someone was saying earlier they were working on their own Terminators here right now, or it doesn't even have to be Warhammer stuff. Could just be like, oh, I'm planning on doing like this project, or I'm planning on doing this trip, or just, you know, something fun or in general. Or doing some other interesting hobby. Like, I've seen a few videos of some people like pretending that they're trying to become the Pokemon gym leader of their town, which I think those are pretty cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but there was a guy traveling around trying to find every single bird in the world and fill it like a Pokemon's no, not like Pokemon, but fill it like the Pokedex, where like he takes a picture of it and then makes a little like entry of them in like a Pokemon in the Pokedex. That's the word I'm looking for. I will say my one regret now that I have made these guys and all that is putting on every single heavy weapon on these models. I'm glad I have the option to use every single one that I so choose. But it's kind of a pain now to like paint them and like get them all together. There's just so many nooks and crannies that I have to get it, like just get in between. But I'm going to be happy that I will have these guys in a new coat of paint, and that they'll actually be... They'll definitely get some time back on the field and getting these things set up. I'd say in the games that I have been playing with my friend, the main thing that this squad of Terminators and the captain do is they always deep strike into my friend's backline, and they just mow down an entire unit of Traitor Guardsmen. I almost want to... No, there's another character my friend has that I want to call, like, Guardsman Bane. Just because he has a red fist, but I almost want to call these guys, like, the Guardsman's Bane. Oh, recently, or at least before I went on my trip, has anyone here played the game Dispatch at all? Because I've been playing that recently. If you haven't yet, I'd say go play it. If you enjoy games like the Walking Dead story game, or played the Game of Thrones like story game and all that, and you enjoyed it, Dispatch I would recommend playing as well. I've never played a game like that before, but it's been so much fun playing it. It's been hilarious. I've seen stuff on it from like YouTube here and there, so I had a lot of it already spoiled. But finally, like, started doing my own playthrough, like, just on my own. Maybe I'll stream it, like, as a community day thing. But with that being said, it's been hilarious. Even though I've had things spoiled for myself, like, to experience them on my own for the first time, I'm like, this is just, like, what the hell am I watching? I enjoy all the characters in it. I'm sad that I haven't played the most recent episodes, so I don't know what goes on there at all. But up until, like, episode 7, I think is what has come out. So I, like, played through 6, or I'm still playing through 6. I know there's some heartfelt moments in that episode. I enjoy the interactions with Invisigal and Rob. And I will admit, I'm on side Invisigal over Blonde Blazer. I will admit, like, playing through it, I can fully see why people think, like, Blonde Blazer is hitting on Rob, like, when you first play. Because, like, I don't flirt. I don't have a girlfriend, period. Like, I don't flirt. I don't understand women at all. Yeah. White guy on the internet that paints Warhammer doesn't understand women. Big whoopee-doo. Big news right there. But I'm like, those are some pretty obvious signs, even to me, that I'd be like, I feel like you are flirting with this guy. Even though, like, you're trying to do a job interview thing, you haven't said what you're really here to do at all during this time. By the way, spoilers if you haven't played. I am talking about the first episode here. She makes it sound like she's flirting with the guy. So I see why a lot of people, like, do, like, choose to kiss her. But I've been playing through this on treating on how I would interact with people. And I'll be honest, I did not kiss her. I'm like, you know what? This is some strange lady, even though these are some really big, heavy signs that I'm picking up. I'm like, nah, I'm going to let the moment pass. This is not the time and place to be making a move on some random lady that I met, like, a little while ago. And for a lot of dispatch, like, I look at it, Invisigal, she needs someone to believe in her. She needs, like, a support system, because it seems like no one's really there to, like, really see her, I guess is how I'll use it. Like, she needs someone to, like, understand, like, you're not this villain. You're not this bad guy you make yourself out to be. You can be a better person, which is the whole point of, like, dispatch, and I love it. My favorite character is I can't remember his name. He's the big, like, Hawaiian dude in the show, and he now has he found me my new favorite word. My new favorite word is fucka. Sorry for anyone that's young here and all that stuff, but it's spelled Faka. And I'm like, that's beautiful. I'm using that whenever I get the chance to. Royd. His name's Royd. Oh, I love Royd. Royd is my, like, favorite character. I hope nothing bad ever happens to Royd. And if anyone here tries to spoil or tell me anything otherwise, I am instantly deleting that comment. I want to play through. Royd is a bro through and through. Such a good game. Such a good game. I want to play that again so bad. I could have last night, but I was just tired. Okay, time for the big stuff up here. I kind of don't want Dispatch to end at all. Because even though like the main part of it is the story part of the game, I'm enjoying the like little mini game section they have in there, like sending the heroes out to go do missions here and there. I will admit I have failed a lot more than I want to, but I kind of like, starting to pick up some parts here and there. Like, okay, better to send this person out to do here, here, and here, and maybe most people play where they like have their characters specialized into doing a couple things, but I have like 3 characters that can kind of do some basic stuff, and then like I will push their greater attributes, but I like to also have them, if they're in a situation that they're not the best at, they at least can do okay at it. So everyone's kind of rounded a little bit. I think like Punch Up is mostly a defensive, but he doesn't have like high strength, so like I boosted up his like his strength and his charisma a little bit, and then I started boosting up his defense. And it's worked out pretty well because I send him on some like charismatic missions here and there, and he's actually able to get it like sorted out and handled, which I love. Punch Up, Sonar and Punch Up are really nice. I like Omni-Man. I picked Omni-Man over Waterboy because, one, I'm not going with Blonde Laser, and the guy is freaking depressed. He needs something to do, and if we can have him out there doing good and staying like getting his mind, like I've been through a breakup before. I know how that can hurt your mind mentally, and especially like if you're, I would almost put like Omni-Man on the spectrum. Yes, he's an alien that doesn't like understand human concepts that we have. So he needs to spend more time with people and just kind of figure all that stuff out. But I do like Waterboy. I want to give Waterboy a chance. He does need confidence. What's up, AR? You just caught me in the middle of talking about Dispatch. And how much I love the game and what I want to do, or at least how I do want to stream it for like community day at some point, and my favorite characters and all that stuff. I love the game. I need to play it some more. I'm only on episode 6. I want nothing spoiled. I knew when I went on vacation, episodes 7 and 8 were going to come out. So I was like, okay, we're not going to spoil it for me at all while I'm on vacation. Because I want to experience it for myself the first time. Which, for those that actually know me, I spoil a lot for me. I don't watch One Piece, yet I watch YouTubers that review the One Piece manga and stuff like that. So, like, I keep up to date with One Piece in a very narrow, specific way. And then, like, I'll watch shows and stuff like that through YouTube Shorts or videos, and I'll collect, like, lore on, like, Skyrim. I've been watching lore stuff on Skynet recently. Like, I've never seen the Terminator series, but, like, yeah, I'll learn about Skynet. Like, what's Skynet like? What's the Terminator universe like? So that's kind of what I've been dealing with. Oh. I also just realized I'm going to paint this guy up in the veteran, in veteran color scheme, but I already have a first company captain, and I'm going to give him a different Terminator model because he will have Terminator armor. So I'm going to have to come up with some lore stuff to say why this guy is a Terminator captain and is in the first company. Well, I do have a lore reason. It's because the current model that I'm using, I want to become the chapter master, and the chapter master doesn't run one specific company. He runs the whole chapter. So at some point, first company is going to need a captain. So I can say this is after some time, and that is what's going on. I would love in the like crusade for the store I'm doing to get my captain model to actually become to get the chapter master rank. I'm currently at 12 honor points to do that. So I'd have to like pull some serious shenanigans in the next game to get to like 25 honor points to do that. That's not gonna happen. Hmm. Will I actually be able to do another color paint tonight on these guys? Or am I just going to take up my whole time painting black? I think I'm going to end up taking my whole time painting black. Hmm. I should actually have some clean water when doing this, but eh. You know, the hard part with painting with black is actually trying to decide like what you want to paint black and what you want to save some color for. Look, I understand I'm going to be doing black armor on these guys like fully, but any little bit of color I can throw on in the future will make it pop and just look so much better. I think is the word I want to use. Because now that I'm like doing black speed paint, I might just make it green on the guns in some parts, and I'm like, well, this is just going to be more work later. But yeah, I started this challenge to like help me get faster at painting and find ways I could get faster at it. Even though I take my sweet ass time when doing these ones. I'd say the dreadnought that I've added to this army is definitely done. That's technically why like I added a few days, because I used those models in other armies and had time to paint them, so I painted them up. Which you guys have seen that dreadnought before. It was Big Jim. Okay, Mr. Captain. Can I even fit you on my thing? Or is it going to break? I can't even fit it on my little handle. Oh, no. I mean, that's kind of a good thing. I don't want to get those really big. I don't have any models that need, like, the really big handle stick for. But I don't want to get... I don't need one, nor do I want one. That's what I'm trying to say. is like some really weird music I'm listening to here. A little bit out there. Oh, that is way too much paint. Should I do both these shields black? Or should I do one as blue? I think I'll leave one as blue. No. Just no, Jake. You're not getting my life savings. The only person that's going to drain my life savings is myself. And I'm doing a pretty good damn job at that to begin with. I mean, hell, I'm in Warhammer as enough. Actually, just to me, I paid a large credit card bill. Or was I paid off my credit card from the trip? To me, it's a large amount. To others, it's like, oh, that's nothing compared to what I have to do. And I don't disagree with that. Everyone has their own threshold they consider a lot. We are going to switch up music. Okay. Here we go. You let me down every day, Jake. You let me down every single day. You know, the day I die, there's only one person I want to put me into the grave, and it's you. So that you can let me down one last time. I'm both humbled and insulted. I'm glad. That was the goal there. No, actually, I don't know who I'd have, like, set me down when I finally do go. Actually, I'm not going to be buried in the earth. I have fully decided what I'm going to have happen when I do go. I want myself pretty much buried in a tomb when I die. I want the first room to be a 10 by 10 space. Top supporters on Patreon. $5,000 on Patreon. You can be the one to set me down in the grave. Oh, Lord. I think the sad part is, like, no one's going to pay that for me. But if, like, some OF streamer did that, there's going to be, like, 10 people that do that. I am not giving you $50 a month, Jake. But that's funny. I've been waiting for a time to use that line for so long. 75 to get a bit of my stuff. Nah, I'm good. I don't want any of your stuff. What I want to have happen to me is I want the first, like, 10 by 10 square to have, like, some of my stuff in it, but mostly just be, like, a bunch of pictures describing my life on who I am, and what I did with my life and where I'm from and all that. And then in the next 10 by 10 square behind that, that's like behind a sealed door and stuff like that, I want my coffin sarcophagus tomb thing, and then all my stuff surrounding that as well, as like a giant time capsule to explain who I was, why I did this. Pretty much like I want my grave to be a giant like time capsule, so that like in however many years in the future they dig me up, I am a bit of history to show about this point in time. Will I be important? No, but it's something I want to do. Why am I painting that? I honestly am going to need to paint so much more around that. The problem is I know it's very expensive. I've not set aside any money for that eventuality. It's also going to be a interesting conversation to have with any living relatives. Like, while I'm still alive, not when I'm dead. Okay. What's the next color I want to use? Do I have it in here? Yeah, that's probably exactly what they'll think, and I am okay with that. Okay. I think those are the two that I need. I'm sure this time in history is going to be pretty well recorded, that I don't need to be in some sort of giant time capsule. But I just want something like that. I think it'd just be, I don't know, I think it's interesting. It's something unique. Not enough people do like unique or interesting burials nowadays. It's all about like getting a coffin, getting yourself in the dirt, and then just sitting there and rotting. As like, I'd rather just have something interesting. I mean, nothing against if that's what you want to do when you do like pass and kick the bucket. If you want to, you know, be in a coffin, have a spot that like your loved ones can come and visit you and all that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Nope. Here we go. I think that's a noble thing. So you figure out where it all went wrong. Oh no. Let's see how this looks. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking some Stormfiend contrast paint, and this is what I'm using as the base blue for my Terminators in my first company and all that. What made you so goddamn fruity? Okay. I can't answer that, but my assumption would be all the damn fruit you ate in your life. That is why you're so damn fruity. Prove me wrong. I dare you. Prove me wrong that eating fruit doesn't make you more fruity. Challenge accepted. For every bit of fruit you eat, that's another bit of fruitiness inside you. You had a couple apples lobbed at your head once? What'd you do? Or did they just fall down like gravity just taking them? And they're like, oh, no, they don't need to be here. They need to be directly on this guy's head. Actually, with that being said, there is a streamer that I have dedicated every time I join their stream to throw apples at their VTuber model. For no other reason than I think it's funny. I do not mean it in a malicious way. I just like, hey, how's it going? I'm here to throw apples, and that is all I'm here for. I will throw apples when I first join. I will throw at least one thing of apples in the end. No, I will throw apples in the beginning when I join. I will throw apples at some point in the middle. And then I will throw apples when I leave. It was a normal Thursday, much like this one. It's not Thursday. What are you talking about? It's not Thursday. Okay, hold on a second. I got verbally disputed. Oh, got into a verbal dispute with a local farmer over gender politics. Don't ask. I will not ask. I don't want to know any more than that. Did you run away with the farmer's daughter? Is that how it escalated? That's the only acceptable answer, if you run away with the farmer's daughter. Well, then you didn't do it right. Do it again. Try again. Okay, you say that, and in my head, all I have playing is if you can if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I've never seen that movie, but I know that clip lives rent free in my head. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Am I accepting responsibility for your actions? No, I'm not accepting any of your actions. They're not my responsibility. You did them. You suffer the consequences for your own actions. If I have to suffer for my own problems in life, I'm not accepting anyone else's. I told you, no. No. I did no such thing. Listen, I'll accept that I'm the idiot that ate 500 milligrams of weed and 2 edibles unknowingly. I will accept I chose to sleep in a closet for space. I will not accept you having apples thrown at your head. I will not take responsibility for that. I am not your father. I am not your mother. I do not claim responsibility for your antics. Stay on there. I think I've said this once before and I'll say it again. If you don't have stupid fun stories to laugh at yourself for in life, did you really live a good life? Because I look at life, it's either one giant book that you read when you're done. Hold on. Jacob's distracting me from my train of thought. Really does feel like that meme of an orangutan managing a herd of otters. What? I think I know what you're talking about. Was this at a zoo? Anyway, as I was saying earlier, if you don't have experiences that will make you laugh, cry, and excited, and all that stuff at the end, welcome, Nee. Yeah, I mean, we try to have fun here. Jake likes to push my buttons here every once in a while, and I like to try and shut him down if I can. Sometimes we have fun. Sometimes it's really quiet and all that. Sometimes I talk about interesting stories or Warhammer and all that. So, welcome. And yeah, thank you for subscribing. Also, what did you just say? What am I painting? So, I am working, kind of doing a challenge for myself there, Nee. I'm trying to paint 1,000 points of Space Marines within 20 days. This is day either 9. This is either day 8 or 9 in the challenge. And I'm painting up some Terminators that are in the list. I'm running a custom Space Marine chapter that I made. All my regular Marines, all that are not First Company, I'll say, are in this blue, orange, black color scheme. with silver being the pauldron trim colors and on the chest Aquila. And first company is purely black armor with bits of blue being like the little buttons and these parts here and here. And they have silver on the Aquila in the front as well. So that is currently what I'm working on. What I also have to paint at some point is a Gladius tank. And I'm working on a Redemptor Dreadnought as well, which I think is already done. So yeah, I'm trying to do this looking cleanly, but also with some speed. So I'm basing everything in contrast paint to begin with. And then when I have time, going back over with actual acrylic paints to get the proper colors that I want to have. Because let me just get some paint on this guy's arm and stuff like that. I'll grab 2 models. Okay, Neil. Noise Marines. Ooh, Emperor's Children are very fun. They have some very cool models. I do want to build like Fulgrim's model at some point, but I'm not fully sure. But to kind of like show what I'd like everything to look like at some point, this is what I'm going for eventually. This is all like with a, I did contrast to begin with, and then I did the acrylics on top. So this is the regular Marines, orange pauldron one side, black on the other, and all that. This is actually a sergeant for my Marines. I don't like to do the, I couldn't find a color that I liked for the helmet, so I'm doing actual stripes instead. So one orange stripe is sergeant, black will be all that. Thank you. Yeah, I like the black and orange as well. And I will read your comments more in a little bit. I just want to show off these more models. And then this is a captain with a relic shield that I'm running. I actually did this guy for an art competition beginning of this year. And he is currently my first company captain that I'm hoping to turn into the chapter master for my army. So I've been using him in a crusade that's at my local game store. So I'm very happy with this too. But usually you do get Death Guard yourself, but Slanesh is your second favorite god. Fair enough. I've said on stream here like a couple times if the Chaos Gods were actually real, the 2 Chaos Gods I think I would fall into, like unwillingly. If I had to choose to fall to one, I would choose Khorne. For the simple fact of it's the least amount of mutations. Neo, how did you know? I haven't said anything about that, but how did you know? Like, yes, that they hail from their home world is pretty much Jurassic Park, like the movie. They're the same color. Hey, just because my favorite colors are blue, orange, and green doesn't mean anything there. But yes, my Space Marines home world is pretty much Jurassic Park: The Lost World. So like the second and third movie, but as a planet. And over time, as a Marine gets older, they risk getting a mutation that pretty much will turn them into like what the Seraphon look like from Age of Sigmar. What's up, club? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. It's hard to tell on my monitor. I'm like trying to recognize if people have been here before or not by their image. Sorry, I'm like trying to find any little spots that I want to turn blue. I wanted something that my so on my planet there's only one hive city. That's a statement to say in chat there, Jake. But for my planet that they're on, there's one hive city on the entire planet because the planet really doesn't like anything that's not from the planet. It pretty much sends out its own form of God, I'm forgetting the word. Immune system out. So there's only one safe spot to put a city. And it's an underground cave system. So like if I had it flat, I have this stand that holds my phone here for the camera. The cave mouth is just like this big opening that is giant walls like Attack on Titan and all that. And the ships only fly through like one port in the top. But the rest of the city is just built underground below in this massive like cave system. There are small tribes like outside the walls and stuff like that. But any attempts to build like a larger settlement like the Hive City or a larger city, the ecosystem instantly starts attacking that city. So pretty much on my planet, the chapter Marines are able to collect recruits from pretty much two sections. They can either get them from the deep section of the hive, or they can go out and find recruits out in the wild. I like to also think that my Space Marines, there's some creatures from like Monster Hunter Wild or Monster Hunter in general that I want to add into my planet, and I like to think that my Marines will go out every once in a while and hunt these monsters as trophies. So just some like fun little lore stuff. Currently I am using I have enough models made up for a That's not a bad idea because I have some eliminators right here. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I can do that for the future. Because I have another box of eliminators I want to build. Yeah, I need to get better at sculpting and all that stuff. Because there are some really cool ideas I want to do. My favorite monster from Monster Hunter, I've not fought it yet, is Legiacris. And that's like the main that's like the main predator on the planet. I'd say, is like Lagiacrus. I mean, there's other ones that are terrifying, but the ones that like would harass people the most, I would say, is that one. I'll call him Brother Neo. That's actually not a bad name. I've been trying to name my Marines after like dinosaur names. So the first company captain, the one with the shield that I showed off, his name is Draco Rex. And he's literally named after the dinosaur Draco Rex. I have another one that I took like the first lettering of Styracosaurus. And I call him like the Styrac Guard, or like Styrac Knights. And they're Deathwing Knights. I was going to name the different companies of Space Marines, like different dinosaurs as well. Like, first company is Trike Company, second company is like Rex Company, and just down from there to there. That would be cool. I have currently in a Crusade list, I'm running a Chaplain and Terminator armor. I wanted to name him like after an Ankylosaurus, but I couldn't find anything good. So I named him Anko-Right. I do understand like it is a religious like name, and it's used in some Space Marine books. But I was literally just thinking of the like Ankylosaurus dinosaurs when I was doing it. I'm like, I'm just gonna call him Anko-Right. It'll be religious and also off the dinosaur. But that's not a bad idea. I do have some Deathwing Knights. I have another box I want to build at some point. I could try to make a more bigger dinosaur theme come through on them. That wouldn't be too bad. I'm actually thinking if I took some green stuff and made a bunch of like little bumps and stuff. Ah, same. I have an Age of Sigmar army that I want to build. It's the Seraphon, and I want to. I got them because I mean they're lizard men and they have dinosaurs. That's so cool. I bought the Combat Patrol, like the one where it's got like the Carnotaurus and all that stuff. I have it kind of built. I got the Carnotaurus built and a few little models, but haven't done anything more than that. And I really should. I might do like a segment when I do streams like called Sigmar Saturday or Sigmar Sunday. That might be the guy in the Combat Patrol that I'm thinking about. I don't know. Yeah, One Page Rules did make like a cyber dinosaur faction. That'd be pretty cool to like use and all that. Oh. That's not a bad idea. I mean to look in the one page rule, but I never do. You know, I did just buy a thing of like I bought another squad of Terminators. Even though it might be better to try it with Assault Terminators, the Ankylosaurus like theme and all that. Ooh, okay, okay. I'll have to look into one-page rules, especially like this weekend. I'm going to help out, or my friend's game store is running a Warhammer event, and I'm going there because like he's got enough table space to do combat patrol and nothing bigger, which kind of sucks because I mean a lot of people that do play, they like having the larger tables and space for that. But he's more of a Magic the Gathering store to begin with, so you do what you can do. I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna be saying, I was talking about Warhammer and something. My train of thought just went out the door. Okay. It'll come back to me at some point. Oh no! Now I remember what I was going to talk about. I had to look at chat again. Um, there's other people going that play other game modes, and I want to learn how to like play those as well. I wonder if anyone there would be playing one-page rule like faction stuff. I know someone asked in his Discord about like Trench Crusade, which is something I'm interested in, and I know we'll be playing Kill Team there as well. Oh, actually, holy crap! Talking about Ankylosaurus, let me pull out a model that I bought recently. That Neo literally was talking about. They're not talking about, but just the Ankylosaurus thing in general. I bought. It's called a Bastillodon. A Bastillodon. I'm gonna open the box real quick. Yeah, so it's this guy. I just bought this from Canada for my Seraphon army. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one I want to build. I almost want to build him without any, like, guys on him. I kind of just want to build him, like, as the Ankylosaurus itself. I could have bought the, Stegodon, I think it's called, the Triceratops one. And I know that one you can, I think, have kind of solo or put stuff on its back. So, I have a few other dinosaur units for Age of Sigmar. I think I need to do a Sigmar Saturday or a Sigmar Sunday and build some of these guys. Although the problem is that some of these dinosaur units that I have, like I got the Seraphon riding the Raptors. I want to put like Space Marines on the Raptors and use those as Outriders. A new LGS just opened up 5 minutes away. Hopefully, they'll get a 40 crowd soon. Been and trying to support the store. It's, I will admit, it can be tough to try and get a community started in like a new game store and stuff like that. Like, I want to grow the Warhammer community at my friend's store, like, really big, or like, I want it to grow. I want it to grow. I want there to be a big community because it's right in the downtown part of the city, and it's an easy walk for a lot of like people that live in that spot. Because the closest place after that for people is either a 30-minute drive or like a 15-minute drive. Like 15 isn't bad, but like if you got like a downtown spot that you and your friends can go play Warhammer at, that's pretty cool. Oh, I should reach out to someone about like, hey, if you're still into it, we're going to be doing this. And I mean, with my opponents that I play at like my little game store, they're the ones driving the 30 minutes and stuff like that. I'm telling them about the store. I'm like, hey, are you from Portland, or like where you're located? You're like, oh, you're from Portland. Like, have you heard about this place? We're thinking about doing, or we're going to be doing a Warhammer event like this day. If you're interested, come by and check it out. It's just realizing that if you want something to grow, you have to promote it yourself as much as like the store does as well. But I also know that a lot of people do just play at home and not at a store. It's like only a very small percentage of people even play like Magic or Warhammer at their local stores. They just play it at home, which makes sense. Oh, was it a single model? And it had a white banner above it. It was like Warhammer like community thing. Cause I didn't realize it, but that's a Katachan sergeant. He's from like a set of books that came out. He really hates orcs. Yeah, those are like the specialty like models and stuff. Yeah, let me grab two that I have that are an example. Like an old school box. Okay. So what I have, for example, are these two. So these are like the commemorative, I guess these are like special characters within books and stuff like that. I was going to get the older models of these two. I've been reading up on their books. And I'm probably going to do something not Age of Sigmar with these guys. Definitely gonna keep this guy Age of Sigmar. But that is... Yeah, that's like a special Catachan leader model. So that is what that's from. Because I saw some as well at my buddy's store. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't have these guys out? I'm kind of surprised. Like, I'd put these guys out because these are like limited edition stuff. I didn't tell him that. Oh, I did. It was all blue. Huh, I don't know. Oh, you found it? What's the name of it? Catachan Kernel. Okay. I'll have to look that one up in a moment. Okay. And I got all the basic blue done on the actual guys. Now we will move over to you, Mr. Captain. Said earlier that like I'm painting this guy up in the first company colors, but I already have a first company captain, and I do. This guy and that model are not the same character, so I'm thinking for this guy, this is further down my Space Marines chapters timeline, because that shield character I showed, I want in lore, I'm going to make him the chapter master no matter what. I was just hoping during this crusade, like, I could get him the chapter master, like, upgrade part, like, get the 25 honor points and do all that. But I don't think that's going to be the case, so it's going to be an after thing. And he's not going to lead any specific... Need to find a good glue for magnets that keep falling out. Like the little ones that hold the arms and stuff like that. I just use whatever I find at my like Dollar General or stuff like that. When it comes to like glue and all that stuff. But to finish my line of thought, the chapter master doesn't lead any specific company. He leads the whole chapter, so he'll join any battle that he needs to join, but he's mostly spending his time like running the chapter. For bases, you haven't tried arms yet. I use the Army Painter magnets, and I use... Do I actually have... I don't have any easy to grab. I don't know. It's not like a... It's not a super glue. Or I look for like a super... It comes in this like weird yellowish green bottle. And it has like a brush attachment is what I go for. Yeah, shake that. You're gonna start an SCP Foundation Legion. Wouldn't that be like Death Watch or Grey Knights in general? I mean, make whatever you want to make. I'm just thinking in lore, like what is already out there. But I don't discourage from people like doing whatever they want to do. Because that's the whole point of this hobby, is to have fun and do what you want to do. Oh, yeah, you could do Imperial Fist. Or you could also do Crimson Fist or any sort of like of Dorn's successor chapters. I will admit, for my Marines, I'm actually stealing another homebrew chapter's color scheme for my first company colors. They are called the Seraphim of the Abyss, and they are the like blue and black colors that I am using, but I was going to build them as a like that was gonna be my army, but then I was like, I really want to do something that is my own colors. But I had some like this guy was the one that made me decide that I'm going to do these as my first company, because I didn't want to clean him and like repaint him. I worked so hard on him, so I was like, oh yeah, SCP is very, very simple with the colors like that. So I was like, you know what? I'll make all my veterans be like that color scheme because I do still like that color scheme. So I'm getting the best of both worlds at the end of the day for me. Okay, I'm just... Have I bought a campaign before? Like the... So, currently, I have... Oh, how many books? I own Tyrannic War up into Armageddon. Like, I own all those Crusade books. But I've not played in every single one. I only started doing... I only got into Warhammer, like, a little over a year ago now. So I've not been able to do, like, a whole lot of stuff. But I'm not sure if I'll get the 500 World book. I might get it, but I want to, like, play and complete some of these like books before I like get another one. I have the Night Lords one already. What are they? So normally when you play Warhammer, you play like certain missions and stuff like that. Crusade is like a narrative way of playing Warhammer. So like if you've played D&D and you have like, oh, I'm gonna play this human fighter and then you start from level 1 and you build up into a character. Crusade works as like you start with so many points for your army, and then as you grow and play, you can, you know, grow your army, make them bigger. They get some units get experience points for doing things here and there, and then you're able to upgrade them and make them do like cooler and cooler things. You can make these really strong and powerful, like not crazy strong, but you can make these like strong units or characters. So for an example, I will use Mr. Captain here real quick as an example. And I'm going to be finishing up anyways too, because I just wanted to do his cloak and then I was going to call it a night. So currently in the Crusade that I'm in, this guy has collected in total 31 experience points, which puts them up to the heroic rank. So like all models have a rank when they start off. From like 0 to 5, they're blooded. And then it goes higher from there. regular units can't go past 30 EXP. Characters can go beyond. This guy is starting off as a normal captain with a relic, shield, and power sword. I've given him an enhancement upgrade that he can minus damage that's put on him. And if it's... he can minus damage from him that he gets taken. And if it's a Melta or Flamer weapon, he changes the damage done to him to 1. He has a weapons upgrade that gives his weapon precise and brutal. So brutal makes his weapon strength 1 higher. And then precision, if I score a critical like hit or wound, I can target a character directly. He also has something that gives him sustained hits. And now that he just got to level 31, I gave him an antique relic weapon, which relic weapons are like these specialty items that you can use during combat. Some do like, oh, you can do this or that, and some are like actual weapons. So I gave him the Dark Angel relic weapon that is 7 attacks, 6 strength, AP minus 2, 2 damage per hit. So I think, I don't know if his weapon upgrade already like will go to that weapon, because if it does, it's going to be like pretty damn tough. But no, now I can get this guy. Normally with a captain, you can do it once per battle. Like instead of like there's 6 attacks on a melee weapon, at least with a sword, I can do like 9 when I add 3. I did 10 because I had an ancient do something as well. Now I can just do a straight flat 10 when I do that ability, and make it 11 if I also add the ancient as well. So that's, it does sound complicated when I say like that, but this has been over like a month and a half of playing to get a character that powerful. He died his very first game and got a battle scar that made him worse, and then I did something to be able to make so the battle scar went away. But that's my little segment on Crusade. I think it's a fun narrative way of playing, and if you get to be able to play it with a couple friends and just do some stuff with it, have fun. It's all about having fun. Because for me, when I normally... So during Crusade, if you have a unit completely get wiped out, like there's nothing like left, so like the entire unit got destroyed, so yeah, when a unit gets fully destroyed, you have to do a out of action test, and you roll a d6. If you get a 1, they get something called a battle scar. It's like a negative effect that characters get. So like some are like, oh, you're -1 to your movement. Some are like, you can't target this unit with a stratagem unless you do like this specific thing, or you remove the battle scar. For every positive that you can do, there's like, you can get negatives, but you can remove the negatives. So if you're interested, I'd recommend looking up some YouTube videos explaining what Crusade is, checking it out, seeing if it's something you're interested in, and just trying it. For me, my local game store ran one, like they hired an employee, and he was like, I want to run this thing. And the store was like, yeah, go for it. So he's... This guy was attached to a squad of Blade Guard veterans. So, like, when the Blade Guard unit got destroyed, and then it was just him, and then he got destroyed, he got the scar directly. Like, characters are different from the units they're attached to. Because, like, when you play Warhammer, like, in general, just to explain, like, I got a captain in Terminator armor. I can attach him to this 5-man squad of Terminators. In order for most people to attack the captain, they got to choose through, like, the bodyguard unit. So, that kind of happened my first ever game. I went against Thousand Suns, and it was like, yeah. What unit was thinking, like, adding a token on him? Necron, Tyranid, etc. Oh, you mean, like, what did it directly? Yeah. Oh, what gave him the scar? Like, it was the Thousand Suns Terminators that, like, destroyed him. My first ever game, I was doing well, and then I didn't focus a certain spot correctly like I should have. And yeah. So, no, I'd say take a look at it, check it out if you're interested and all that stuff, but I'm going to call it here because I am tired. I got to get to bed and go to work tomorrow. So, I'm going to do my little spiel and then we'll go from there. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. I don't have a consistent schedule yet for when I stream. I usually post on YouTube what my stream schedule will be for the week. But a lot of times I stream at 7 o'clock Eastern time. With that also being said, if you want to be a part of the community and, you know, get to know me a bit better and know some of the other people here, I have a Discord that is completely free to join. But you don't have to. If you just want to sit here and watch... You just want to sit here and watch? That is okay and fine. I do have a Ko-Fi account that you can donate to as well. All the money donated to that goes into helping the channel improve and get better over time. But, again, you don't have to. Just having you here, chatting, watching, being a part of the community is more than enough. So, with that all being said, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.